Whether it's Necron gems of like crazy time and space qualities, it could be Eldar Spirit Stones, could be some gem of imperialness. It doesn't matter what kind of gem it is that you're painting. It's a very simple way of painting gems to give a really good finish that feels like it's got a little bit of life to it. Feels like it's got some depth and some power, and that's really what you want. Today, I'm going to show you my way of doing so. There's just one thing that you need to note before we get into the video. We're going to be creating a blend. We're going to go from a very dark blue to a almost white blue. I'm going to use the same blend throughout. What that really means is you're going to take one mix of paint and you're going to add more paint to that every time we add another step in the process till you get a nice smooth transition all the way across. This is a great technique for painting anything. It doesn't need to be gemstones. Literally any paint project you're doing can benefit from this technique. So, without further ado, let's do it. We've got our THRAMAR black and some CYGNAR blue base. CYGNAR blue base is kind of a strong royal blue kind of color. It's not particularly bright. They have a highlight version of it, which will be a little bit brighter. This is going to give us a nice solid base coat for our gem. We're going to add more CYGNAR blue base. We're going to start working on a series of crescent moon shapes towards the bottom right-hand corner of the gem. Every single pass of paint must be nice and thin. You're going to end up going through about 10 brush strokes, 10 separate highlights on this. And we want to make sure, obviously, there's a nice smooth transition throughout every step of the way. We're adding more of that CYGNAR blue base. This is how to transition the color into a solid blue, but is still dark, and that's important. We're going to get a lot of depth out of this miniature by keeping that nice and dark and then building it up to a brighter blue, almost an off-white blue at the very end. We're adding in the CYGNAR blue highlight. You can use Altdorf blue for this. I think it looks about similar on the color swatches on the GW website, so give it a try. Let me know what you think. Once you've got that step down, we're going to continue adding in more of that CYGNAR blue highlight and continue building those crescent shapes. Now at this stage, you can come all the way down to the bottom of the gemstone with it if you want to. We're adding these crescents on and we're trying to create a sense of depth so that this gemstone is see-through, that you can see several inches perhaps deep into the model. That's how large it should be, and this is going to help us do that. What we're going to do now, though, is add in some Lothern blue, and this is where you want to start bringing your brushstrokes back away from the very edge. If you put something on that's right at the very, very edge, you might end up with something that isn't quite right looking. You need to just back it away a little bit because that reflection line won't be on the absolute edge of the gem. It'll be a little bit further in. And here's where it becomes really important. We're adding in some sickly skin, which is a very bright off-white color. And we're going to keep those little crescents that we're doing now fully within the confines of that Lothern blue line that we just put down. You can use Pallid Witch Flesh for this. I think it might not quite be bright enough, and do a second highlight of it afterwards. Now, if you're liking the video, by all means, please like the video. Kind of simple as that. If you really like it, subscribe. And if you really, really like it, why don't you come on over to Twitch, where I live stream 4 times a week. You can watch me paint things like this in real time. We also have a Patreon that you can use to help support the channel. It's up to you. Links are in the description below. We're then adding in some Morrow white to create a nice reflection on our gem. This helps really sell the effect that it is glossy, kind of made of glass or some other kind of reflected material. We put in a little dot and then we're just chasing around the edge. Again, not to the very edge, still on the surface with a small line there. Now, don't worry if your hands are a little bit shaky, if you've got not the best brush control in the world. Here's a step to help you fix that. I'm taking some black and blue mix. This is our first mix that we used, and we're just going to refine that line a little bit, neaten it up. And there you have it. There's our gemstone, perfectly rendered on this fantastic model. This is, of course, the Catan from the Silent King. I painted this as a commission for a friend back near Christmas now, actually. So it's been a while for this video to come out. Again, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, then hopefully we'll see you in the streams. All of you guys, have a great weekend. Peace out.